New Year's Day, 1972. The Cotton Bowl, Penn State and Texas. It was their first meeting in history. A football squad begins to take shape in the spring. It is here that a coach coaches. Here, that careful preparation pays off in fall victories.
Turn back. You're just costing us 4 yards. All right? Take it and run.
Joe Paterno became head coach at Penn State in 1966. Over those 6 years, he has been the nation's winningest coach.
Another quarterback, all right?
On the final day of spring practice, the Penn State staff takes over the coaching reins. It was Paterno's day to oversee, to set the tone for an 11-game schedule.
Get 2 downs and make your first. Now look, you guys got to put a drive together. Now let's see if you got a little class and you get a good drive together. Good hit, 47. All right, Lasovic, good hit. I'm for the defense today. Good job, Hager. Oh! Come on, Eddie, be tough out there now. Come on, take off now. Let's go, Blue. Come on, John, run. What was the last one you hit, Capoletti? Was that this lug 3? Lug 2. Yeah, it was a good call. Tell Capoletti he didn't run it right, though.
Hopefully, no small problem was overlooked. The defense was young, but aggressive. The veteran offense was explosive. Penn State was ready. The season ahead would feature a tough blending of longtime rivals, rugged intersectional foes, and the 3 service academies. Senior Lydell Mitchell rocketed into the new season, scoring 5 touchdowns at Navy. A preview of things to come. In his first varsity game, backup quarterback Steve Joachim hurled the season's longest bomb, 86 yards to speedy Jim Scott. Navy had tested the mighty Lion offense and found it uncontrollable. Against Army, 3 different Penn State quarterbacks put points on the board. John Hufnagel led the rampage, pairing with Scott Skarzinski. Steve Joachim connected with Bob Parsons, gobbling up 62 yards. And Jack Konashevsky picked out Fleet Chuck Hurd for 64 big ones. Lydell Mitchell chipped in 3 touchdowns and a total of 161 chilling yards. State's 42 points was the most they've ever scored in 19 battles with Army. Of the 3 service academies, the Air Force provided Penn State with its severest competition. The first period was scoreless. Then John Hufnagel burned the Air Force secondary. His partner was Bob Parsons. Inside an unbending pocket, Hufnagel had time to hit Parsons again, and the Lions were 12 inches away from the game's first score. Everybody in Beaver Stadium knew it would be either Mitchell or Harris for the payoff yard. But John Hufnagel was master of the unexpected. Sophomore Tom Donchez scored his first varsity touchdown, and State led 7-0. The Falcons struck back and tied the score, but Bruce Bannon's rush and Ed O'Neill's interception set up another smart call. What appeared to be a fullback slam by Harris proved in reality to be a wide sweep by Mitchell. State 13, Air Force 7. Minutes later, an eye-popping catch by a well-covered Falcon stunned the Lions. The conversion inched Air Force ahead. The Lions knew it was time for a big play. Not the kind you draw on blackboards, but the kind aggressive teams make happen. Keep your eye on number 16. A second look shows the fumble bounced right to an alert John Hufnagel, number 16, who never broke stride. The Lions had clawed back into scoring range. 3 stabs at the veteran Air Force line failed to find the end zone. On 4th and 1, a decision was made. Albert Vitiello kicked from the 22. The pressure field goal was perfect. Penn State's drive paid off with a 2-point win. It proved something intangible to the Lions and quarterback John Hufnagel.
The Air Force game was a big test for us, and they were a good team, and the way we came back in the second half to win it, and Alberta kicking that clutch field goal, we knew that we could win under pressure.
Penn State was the only team in 1971 to defeat the 3 major service academies. Every school plays several opponents it loves to beat, games that make or break a season. An example was Penn State-Syracuse. These 2 rugged Eastern powers have met 49 times since 1922. This series is unbelievably close. State now holds a 2-game edge. The 1971 version of the Lion-Orange War quickly turned into a showcase for the Penn State defense. Joe Paterno and his staff labored long and hard, setting up a defense to neutralize the Syracuse ground strength. It worked. Defensive end Bruce Bannon won Associated Press Lineman of the Week honors. Number 83 was constantly in the orange backfield. One of 1971's outstanding efforts was this charge by Bannon, blocking a Syracuse punt. Let's run that one again. Watch Bannon as he recovered quickly and cleared the path for Gary Gray to score. The Nittany Lion defense held Syracuse without a point. Paired with the whitewash of Army a week earlier, State's defenders had chalked up back-to-back shutouts. Another long-standing rival, West Virginia, hadn't beaten Penn State since 1955. It was scary in 1971. One play turned a close contest into a rout. A fumbled punt. Possession went to Penn State, and the Lions had a golden opportunity to break open a third-period 7-7 tie. After the recovery, John Hufnagel and Franco Harris destroyed the deadlock. West Virginia's dreams of upsetting Penn State were shelved for another season. Lydell Mitchell continued to assault enemy tacklers like a tornado advancing inland. Behind Joyner, Mechtel, Botts, and Shakowicz, the holes were there for the taking. Mitch's first of 2 touchdowns established a new Penn State single-year record of 15. After a nip-and-tuck start, the Lions roared to a 35-7 win. Penn State had come out of a rugged showdown at West Virginia with only minor injuries. high-scoring offense continued untamed against longtime foe Pittsburgh. Lydell Mitchell set a pair of NCAA all-time season records, one for touchdowns by rushing and one for total points. Mitchell tore through the guts of the Pitt defense for 181 yards, shattering the old Penn State record for total offense in a season. It was a spectacular performance by the talented senior. Penn State's offense totaled more than 530 yards, including a unique scoring play from Hufnagel to Donchez to Parsons. The touchdown path was established. Hufnagel's long pitch found Chuck Hurd. And Steve Joachim's sky-high floater to Gary Debs added 6 more. The Lions would receive a Cotton Bowl invitation immediately following the game. The final was 55-18. And Penn State had licked its 3 traditional rivals, Syracuse, West Virginia, and Pittsburgh, scoring a grand total of 121 points and giving up but 25. The Lions in 1971 took on 5 intersectional opponents, representing the South, Southwest, Atlantic Coast, and Midwest. It was a rainy Saturday in September when the Lions met Iowa for the second time in history. Lydell Mitchell romped through the Hawkeyes for 211 yards. Franco Harris tied an Iowa Stadium record with 4 touchdowns. Penn State added a Big Ten team to its victim list, 44-14. Against Texas Christian, Joe Paterno's offense had a field day. The visitors could not stop the Lions. Whether it was Bob Parsons or Franco Harris, the blue and white thundered at will. Lydell Mitchell followed blocks by Mark Markovich and Dave Joyner as the Lions set a new single-game total offense record. On defense, Penn State looked at the wishbone for the first time and found it no problem. The Nittany Lions collected an amazing total of 66 points, including Ed O'Neill's slick punt return. Every Lions squad member played in Penn State's highest scoring game since 1947. Just as TCU was rattled by the state offense, Maryland, too, wondered what hit them. Lydell Mitchell greeted the Terps with 5 touchdowns, 209 yards, and 6 new Penn State rushing records. It was a day Mitch could have run for governor and made it. John on, Hufnagel hit 7 of 8 passes. One of them targeted Glenn Cole. The Lions put 63 points on the board, and Maryland wasn't the only tired visitor to University Park. Iowa, TCU, Maryland, and North Carolina State had fallen. The Lions were 10-0, ranked number 5 in the nation, but trouble was just ahead. Tennessee welcomed the Lions to Knoxville with the type of big defensive plays that the great 1968 and 69 Penn State teams often turned on opponents. A fumble return, a punt return, and 4 interceptions ended State's 15-game win streak. It was easy to forget those previous 10 wins, but Penn State would have one more chance, the Cotton Bowl, to regroup and show a football nation it was a good team. Senior leadership is important to the success of any college team. Under Joe Paterno and his staff, it is often the key to a winning season. The 1971 offense was blessed with many gifted seniors. One of the most effective blocking units in Lion history was led by All-America Dave Joyner.
The thing that, excites the offensive lineman most is to make a good block, on the side of a play that the back has a good run, or to make a downfield block possibly. And this, these are the only times you really get any recognition.
Offensive captain, heavyweight wrestling champion, Dean's List pre-med student, Dave Joyner married a state cheerleader, and together they enjoyed those autumn Saturdays. Playing alongside Dave Joyner was senior Bob Knechtel, number 64.
To me, a personal satisfaction comes when a touchdown comes over your hole, or if you knock a guy down when you're blocking him straight on, or when a back comes back to the huddle and says, you did a good job.
The anchor in the middle of this powerful offensive line was 235-pound Mike Botts, number 59. At tight end, Bob Parsons didn't block like an ex-quarterback. Parsons ran this play 11 times in 1971, gaining more than 80 yards. Bob was a fantastic punter and versatile enough to lead the team in receptions. These were the seniors up front, whose primary duty was to clear a path for runners Franco Harris and Lydell Mitchell. Hampered by injuries in 1971, Franco Harris was as good as any runner in America when healthy. He rumbled for over 2,000 career yards and is 4th on the Penn State all-time rushing list. Harris's senior partner was number 23, Lydell Mitchell. A complete back, Mitchell blocked and was second on the team in pass receptions, often pulling in unbelievable catches. But Lydell Mitchell's trump was running. He could single-handedly destroy a secondary. Joe Paterno called Mitch the best third down runner we've ever had. Number 23 was born with great legs and enough desire to run through a wall.
You get that extra incentive from knowing that the defense is geared to try to stop you, and you just go.
A simple philosophy that powered Mitchell to gain more than 100 yards in 9 out of 12 state games. Mitch established 12 Nittany Lion records and 3 NCAA season scoring marks. Football fans everywhere will long remember Lydell Mitchell as the young man who scored more touchdowns in a season than any other player in college history. He was the summit of State's high-powered offense. The young defense matured in 1971. The underclassmen moved in and learned quickly. The seniors showed the way. They were a reckless crew, those State defenders. Hitting was fun, and their captain was senior linebacker Charlie Zapek.
I enjoy knocking the other guy down, particularly when he has the ball. And it's just, just the thrill of hitting someone and seeing the ball pop up out of the ball carrier, creating a fumble.
An All-East offensive guard 2 years ago, number 60 switched to defense and won All-America honors. His coach said Charlie Zapek was truly a leader by example. The little big man of the State defense was senior Gary Gray. This 200-pound linebacker topped the Lions in tackles and interceptions. Gray dabbled in hypnotism off the field, but once in uniform, he was all business. Frank Aaronhold was the only senior in the front four. Not big as tackles go, number 79 hit with authority and loved to bear hug ball carriers. For all these seniors like Frank Aaronhold and Chuck Mesco and Glenn Cole, 1971 was history. But Penn State had one more game to put it all together in Dallas on New Year's Day.
I think if we come away with a victory, this will be the biggest victory in Penn State history. It's just a natural rivalry between Penn State and Texas. We've never played before. Texas has a great reputation. They've had some great teams in the past few years, and if we could beat Texas, it'd just be great for Penn State football.
For the fourth time in the last 5 years, the Lions are in a major bowl. A fun week in Dallas includes press conferences and a hello from Dolly herself, Carol Channing. The 1972 Cotton Bowl is the first meeting ever between Texas Darrell Royal and Joe Paterno. It is Royal's dreaded wishbone offense that worries Paterno. But the Nittany Lions meet the challenge. Early in the struggle, Texas is driven to the State 35. This is where the Lions must assert their control over the Longhorn offense. Bruce Bannon leads the assignment. The heralded offense of the 70s, the wishbone, is outguessed, out-hustled, and out-hit by Jim Leslovic, number 47. By John Scorpan, number 81. And number 20, Chuck Mesco. The Lions' pursuit is beautiful. Neither team can score a touchdown in the first half. Seconds into the third period, Jim Leslovic kicks a Texas fumble, and Chuck Zapek runs it down. It is time to strike. John Huffnagel hums a perfect pass to Bob Parsons. And the restless Lions are a yard away. For the final 36 inches, Lydell Mitchell barrels over Joyner and Knechtel. And Penn State leads for the first time, 10-6. Here's the game breaker. Huffy spots Scott Skarzinski unbelievably alone. A 65-yard bomb that stuns the eyes of Texas. Penn State takes a 17-6 advantage. The swift Lion defense forces another turnover. Bannon hits. Greg Duquette recovers. Following a pair of field goals, John Hufnagel sweeps into the end zone to make the final a 30-6 rout of the Southwest Conference champions. The first time Texas has been held without a touchdown in 80 games. The Lions had come back. They had shown a national TV audience they could play with the best and win. Joe Paterno would call it Penn State's most important victory. So the Lions complete the season 11-1, 5th ranked nationally. Winners in 48 of their last 55 games, they have finished in the top 5 3 of the last 4 years. In the top 10, 4 of the last 5 years. Quarterback John Hufnagel returns to lead the offense in 1972. Huffy will have blocking linemen like number 69, Carl Shakowicz, and number 73, Craig Lyle, opening the holes. Soccer-style kicker Albert Vitiello returns as one of the nation's leaders in kick scoring. He holds all of Penn State's extra point marks, and his record 3 Cotton Bowl field goals were beauties to behold. 1972 should be a vintage year for the defense. Linebacker John Scorpan, number 81, is one of the 7 defensive starters to return, including Jim Heller, number 72, at tackle. Linebacker Tom Hull, and number 47, defensive end Jim Loslovic. At the other terminal, Bruce Bannon, number 83, finished the season winning the top defensive award in the Cotton Bowl. Most of the Lions' record-setting secondary returns, including Buddy Ellis, number 18. And Greg Duquette, number 35. Each added 4 interceptions to the new team record of 28. "1971 was a year to remember. And in 1972, the Nittany Lions will strive to continue their drive to national prominence.